What, in the end, are we truly living for? It seems like a simple question, yet it is the root of every journey toward awakening. Some carry it silently in their hearts for a lifetime, never once daring to say it out loud. Others only encounter it after a collapse, loss, despair, or tragedy. We're born, we grow up, we study, and we work. From dawn till dusk, we are busy. We wear countless roles: child, parent, spouse, employee, leader. But in the midst of all these roles, have you ever truly asked yourself, who am I? What am I living for? We live as if there's a finish line we must reach. That line is called success, recognition, wealth, or happiness. But the more we run, the more we find ourselves exhausted, confused, and lost. Like someone swimming in an ocean without knowing which direction to go. No compass, no clear desire, only one certainty: you must not stop. Because if you stop, you fall behind, you'll be forgotten. You'll no longer be called successful. But if you never stop, how will you know if you're going the right way? Have you ever truly sat in silence, with no noise, no distractions, and asked your heart, if I left this world tomorrow, would I regret anything? That question doesn't need an immediate answer, but the moment it appears, it marks the opening of an inner door, a return, a new journey, not outward, but inward. Because only when you dare to face that question do you begin to truly live. Not just as a shadow drifting through life, but as a light, fully present, here and now. What are you really living for? The playful question of childhood by the riverside quietly becomes a haunting whisper in the hearts of grown-ups. Are we living for work? For money? For achievement? Or recognition? Or simply because we no longer know where to stop? Each morning, we wake up like machines. Each night, we collapse, drained of life. Have you ever asked yourself, am I truly living? Or just chasing something I can no longer even name? Where is this journey taking us? There is a kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much, but from living without knowing why we live. In the modern world, we are taught to set goals, to strive, to keep moving forward. Goals are not the problem. But if we don't understand the nature of the journey, goals become burdens, and we become runners who forget why we started in the first place. Buddhism does not reject worldly life. The Buddha himself was once a prince, surrounded by luxury, but he renounced it, not because material life is evil, but because he saw no amount of riches could ever fill the emptiness within. Some people think meditation is about running away, about giving up. But meditation isn't telling you to stop working. It teaches you to work with awareness, clarity, and presence. You can still go to work, care for your family, nurture your dreams, but you no longer let those things consume you. You live while still keeping a sacred space within, a part that stays quiet, clear, and unshaken. A path without a fixed destination doesn't mean giving everything up. It means knowing every destination is impermanent, and it's the presence in each step that truly matters. When you work mindfully, you stop comparing. You stop chasing to be better than someone else. You act from a place of inner clarity, not from lack, not from fear. Then, every workday becomes a spiritual practice. Every interaction, a lesson. Every hardship, a gateway to deeper wisdom and compassion. Living this way, you don't need to arrive anywhere, because you are already here, in every mindful step of your journey. Pausing to hear the call within. Sometimes, to hear the deepest call of your soul, you don't need to climb a mountain or cross a desert. You just need to sit quietly, amid the noise of everyday life. No music, no social media, no deadlines pressing in. Just one breath in and one breath out. It's in that seemingly ordinary moment that something begins to open, like a sprout rising through heavy earth, like a whisper from within. Come home. Remember, we are not here to run away from ourselves, nor are we here to become someone the world expects us to be. Each soul is born with its own melody, its own sacred fingerprint, a unique and irreplaceable note in the song of the universe. But somewhere along the way, we forget. We get caught in roles assigned by society: father, mother, worker, boss. And with each role, we drift further from who we really are. Until one ordinary night, sitting alone, we feel afraid to face the emptiness inside. But meditation teaches, emptiness is not to be feared, because emptiness is where all creation begins. From that still, silent space, you finally hear the voice of your true self. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. Rumi, you don't need to become someone successful. You only need to come home. And from that place of return, you'll know what to do, how to live, how to love. No dogma, no theory. Just a gentle, full understanding, quiet, deep, and beautifully human. Mindful living, more than just existing. There's a way of living that is quiet, humble, and unseen on social media, yet so profound, it transforms your entire life. That is mindful living. Mindful living is not about sitting still for hours on a cushion, nor is it about abandoning all responsibilities to find a peaceful retreat. It is this: whether you're washing dishes, cleaning the house, attending a meeting, caring for a child, or facing pressure at work, you are fully aware of what you are doing. You are not swept away. Your mind is not drifting to the past, nor worrying about the future. You are fully present in this moment. To live is not merely to exist. To be mindful is not to escape. It is to be fully here, in each breath of life. You may be in a crowded office. You may be a doctor, a driver, a teacher, a homemaker. But if you do your work with a clear mind, a present breath, and a heart of gratitude, your work becomes meditation. A mindful person doesn't live outside the world. They live within the world, without losing themselves. Mindfulness isn't about becoming a saint. It's about becoming deeply human again, whole, compassionate, awake. And when you live mindfully, you no longer ask, what am I living for? Because every moment you live is already the answer. You live to feel gratitude. You live to sow small seeds of goodness. You live to fulfill the quiet, sacred role of simply being human. And in that way, a meaningful life doesn't need to be grand. It only needs your presence, offered with love. Every minute you live like this is a minute you fulfill your soul's true mission. When you live truly, the world begins to heal. We often think that to make the world better, we must do something big, become famous, gain influence, invent something groundbreaking, save millions of lives. But have you ever considered that simply by living authentically, kindly, and mindfully, you are already changing the world? To live truly doesn't mean to live perfectly. It means living in a way that makes your heart feel light, clear, and peaceful when you look at yourself. You don't need lofty words. Just walk into a room carrying peaceful energy. You don't need to save anyone. Just listen to someone with full presence, and you are already healing them. The world doesn't need more successful people. It needs more people who know how to love, who nurture truth, who plant hope, and who live kindly. Every small action you take, if done with mindfulness and love, can ripple far beyond you. Smile at a stranger. That smile might stop them from ending their life today. Stay calm in a storm, and someone next to you might learn not to overreact. Forgive someone, not just for them, but so you don't carry resentment into another day. To live rightly is to nourish yourself, and from that place, become fertile ground for peace and kindness to grow in others. So, what are we truly living for? We live to become a healing presence in the world, not with greatness, not with grand gestures, but simply by being kind. In your eyes, in your voice, in the quiet way you live, each day. In the end, the answer in stillness. So, what are we truly living for? The longer we live, the deeper that question becomes. The more we gain, the more we see. What we once thought were answers were only layers used to cover fear. We fear being worthless, so we prove ourselves useful. We fear being forgotten, so we strive for greatness. We fear being left behind, so we run with the crowd. But the more we run, the further we drift from our own heart. Then one day, perhaps not a tragedy, but in a very ordinary moment, we realize we are tired, not from doing too much, but from living without an inner anchor, and we begin to search, not outward, but inward. Just sit still, truly still, and breathe. And you'll start to feel the answer, not in words, not in logic, but as a quiet knowing that you were not born to be someone else's copy, that you don't need to go far to find the sacred, that you are already enough the moment you truly arrive. You live, not to defeat others, but to understand yourself. You live, not to leave a mark, but to plant seeds of compassion and mindfulness in this life. You live, not to answer, "Why am I here?" with words, but to let every breath, every act, every moment of gratitude become your answer. And when your presence is a mindful presence, even if you do nothing grand, the world around you will change. A flower does not ask for praise, it still blooms. A stream does not wait for applause, it still flows. So do you. You live to be yourself, gently, deeply, lovingly, and sometimes just one person living this way is enough to calm a corner of the world. And if we all live this way, perhaps this world will begin to be reborn.